Let's see how we can get the JSON data back from a website using an API call. And this example, I'm going to use the Bitcoin data. So I'm importing JSON package or library, and I'm also using the requests. And then we will define a URL. The URL belongs to this website, which has an API sitting there. When we make a call to this website, this provides us the Bitcoin data back. And let's initialize some more variables, payload and the headers. Now let's get the response back from this URL. So I'm using this response using the request, and we're using the get verb because we're getting the data. We're not posting it, we're getting it. And then define the URL, and then headers equal headers, the headers which I just created or initialized, and then data equals payload, which I just created up there. So with that, we have the response. And now we're going to get the JSON data out of that. So we say JSON.load from the response, the text and the UTF text out of that. So that becomes our JSON data. And I'm going to get the data picked up from the JSON data object and then call it as Bitcoin data. And let's print it and see what this data looks like. So if I run it, you would see that I have this data. Let's see a formatted data because this looks very confusing. So I'm just going to use a JSON formatter. It's an online, you can have many JSON formatters on the website. So the data looks like this. So you can see that it has 3 variables in there: the price, the time, and the date. And we'll be interested in the price in USD and then the date. So you can see there's repeated observations of the prices. So let's save this JSON data into a normal data frame which we can use in our calculations or in our charts. And I'm going to use the pandas for that. So import pandas as PD, and then defining a data frame df, and then using that pandas data frame function and passing the Bitcoin JSON data to that. So with that, we have a data frame which is df. And what do we need in that? We need basically the price and the date. So let's convert the prices into a numeric value and the dates into the date. So I'm just going to use the price USD and then convert that into numeric. Similarly, I'm going to use the date and then convert this into the date format. So this is it. With that, we have our data in a proper format, and now we can print it. So I'm going to stop printing the Bitcoin data, the JSON data, and I'm just going to print the df. So you would see that this data is a data frame data. You can see that it's more structured. You have the price and the date there. So now is the time to create a chart out of that data, and I'm going to use the matplotlib library for that. So import matplotlib.pyplot as plot. So X would be our date, and on the Y-axis we want to display the price in USD. And the kind of plot which we want is a line plot. And finally, all we need to do is show the plot on the screen. Now we don't need to print the data frame anymore. So I'm just going to comment it out, and we don't want to print the Bitcoin data also because we have seen everything is working. All we need to do is run this command so that our chart can be displayed on the screen, which is going to be something like this. So we picked the data from a website using an API call, got this data in a JSON format, and then converted this JSON data into a data frame, and then finally consumed this data into a chart. I hope you found this information useful and practical. Thank you very much for watching it, and I'll see you in the next one.